This is BNN.
Bruin News Now is made possible by the generous support of C-Spire, St. Dominic's, Orange Theory Fitness Hattiesburg, Salamukis Madison, Blue Sky Landscaping and Maintenance, Bank Plus, and these fine sponsors. This week on the show, some St. Joe students get a head start learning a foreign language. We take a look at one 7th grade student who dreams of competitive horseback riding. Spring is here along with some nice cool weather. Expect a great weekend. Weather, sports, and all the news are next. JV Bruin News Now for Friday, March 22nd, 2024 begins right now. From the BNN headquarters on the campus of St. Joseph Catholic School in Madison, this is the JV edition of Mississippi's High School News Leader, the state's #1 award-winning student-produced newscast, Bruin News Now.
Happy Friday, Bruins! I'm Ashley Mason.
And I'm Vincent Lee. Welcome to the 3rd edition of JV Bruin News Now, the middle school version of St. Joe's award-winning high school newscast. This edition was produced by students in the 3rd quarter middle school journalism class.
The 3rd quarter went by in a flash, or at least it seemed that way. And now we find ourselves at the end of the first week of the final quarter of the school year. Can you believe it? We have just 8 more weeks until summer break.
I know what you mean, Ashley. I can't believe we have almost completed our first year here at the Joe. And here we are with what I think is a pretty good show. A JV BNN packed with news and interesting stories.
First up, several middle school students here at St. Joe aren't waiting for high school to start studying a foreign language. They already have begun work using a popular online program.
JV BNN's Estefan Shifani caught up with several of these students and filed this report.
The languages I'm learning are Spanish and German, and so far I have a 271-day streak.
And I'm doing Japanese because I felt like it sounded nice phonetically.
These middle schoolers are 2 of several 7th and 8th graders who are using a popular online program called Duolingo to get a head start learning a foreign language. Some of the languages they are studying are offered here to high school students. Others aren't.
I do Duolingo because I felt like it would be fun to learn a new skill, and I felt like it would be kind of easy and just fun to do in general.
I don't think if I had Duolingo, then I probably wouldn't be as into like Spanish with German as I am right now.
Duolingo is a free language learning website and a phone app. The program allows people to study any one of 40 different languages. St. Joe's foreign language teachers see this trend as a helpful tool.
Well, there's Duolingo, there's Rosetta Stone, and there's a few others out there where you just can get on from anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes a day and practice relevant vocabulary, putting sentence structures together, and you really just get that extra repetition that is helpful in and outside of the classroom.
In this day and age, learning a 2nd or even a 3rd or 4th language is beneficial to just about anyone.
It absolutely helps and benefits students if they have a foundation in a foreign language, whether that's Spanish, Latin, French, or any other language. Being expanded to learn how to grow and communicate in our global and changing society is absolutely a necessary skill.
St. Joe requires students to take 2 years of a foreign language. Miss Beeman was so impressed by Duolingo that she has begun to incorporate the program into her Spanish classes.
All of my Spanish classes are on Duolingo, and they're doing weekly assignments and trying to I use that as part of their daily grade and part of their homework grade.
If you want to learn a new language or just improve your existing skills, try Duolingo. It's free. Go to www.duolingo.com. For even more practice, Super Duolingo or Duolingo Max are available at a cost. I'm Estefan Shifani for JV Bruin News Now.
Thanks, Estefan. Foreign language course selections are offered to students beginning in the 9th grade. Students will have the option of taking Spanish or Latin. Boy, I can wait to be a 9th grader.
As we said earlier, we are wrapping up the first week of the 4th academic quarter. With the new quarter comes new rotation classes for 8th and 7th grade students.
Middle school students take 9-week classes that include music, art, choir, and journalism. The 9-week 7th grade journalism class produces this JV edition of Bruin News Now every quarter.
The rotation classes give middle school students a taste of possible electives that they can take when they reach high school. It also gives them a break from the usual classes of math, English, science, and history.
I think the rotation classes for middle school are an excellent idea. I think they're very important. They give students an opportunity to explore their interests, whether it's journalism or the arts, and see what they might want to focus on when they get in high school. And then it also helps them practice more practical classroom skills like technology skills and research skills that they'll need.
Today is the first ever presentation of the Shadow Stations of the Cross. The program begins at 9:15 a.m. in the Fine Arts Theater. Middle school students will act out the stations behind a screen on which their shadows will be projected. Students have been practicing for several weeks, a highlight of the Lenten season as we prepare to celebrate Easter in little more than a week. Miss Megan Westbrook, the 8th grade religion teacher, says she is pleased with preparations.
I actually did this when I was in youth group, and so the people are behind a sheet and they are acting out the stations. So it's there will be a Jesus, there will be Mary, there will be soldiers, and we are telling the story through Mary's eyes of what actually happened with Jesus dying on the cross for our sins.
Next week is Holy Week, the most important week of the Christian calendar. The week starts Sunday with Palm Sunday Mass. Tuesday is a Chrism Mass at the Cathedral in downtown Jackson. The Mass will begin at 10:30 a.m. and will include the annual renewal of priestly vows as well as the blessing of the holy oils used throughout the year for sacraments and rituals. The St. Joe Choir will perform at the Mass.
Also on Tuesday, grades 8 through 10 will have the pre-ACT test, while those in 11th grade will take the actual ACT. Many colleges and universities use results from the ACT to help determine admission to their schools. Dismissal is expected to occur after testing at about noon. Seniors will have the day off and will not have to report to school.
St. Joe will celebrate Holy Week Mass at 9:15 a.m. on Wednesday in the Fine Arts Theater. St. Joe will not have Mass on Thursday next week. School will be out on Good Friday, March 29th, and Easter Monday, April 1st. School offices will be closed both days, the final regular holidays of the 2023 to 2024 school year. Classes will resume at 8 a.m. Tuesday, April 2nd.
Coming up, Hilsey Zell and Riley Ward have the latest in Bruin sports, including a look at a 7th grader who dreams of competitive horseback riding.
And Sophia Yarbrough has your spring weather outlook. Don't go away. Sports and weather are next.
Howdy everyone, I'm Hilsey Zell.
And I'm Riley Ward, and this is your JV Bruin News Sports Report.
Topping sports news this week is the Bruin baseball. Tonight, the Bruins wrap up on a non-district play with a road trip to Lloyd Star. The Bruins game against the Hornets follows a home contest against Lloyd Star on Tuesday.
This week's games follow the Bruins' annual road trip to play ball on the Mississippi Gulf Coast over spring break. The Bruins said they are ready for a strong finish to this week.
Yeah, so this year we made sure to schedule a pretty difficult non-district schedule. We wanted to make sure that we were battle tested heading into 6A ball. Obviously with Hartfield coming up, it's going to be a good district opponent, a great way to start off baseball season in 6A. But like I said, going back to game one, we've played some really tough opponents, and we feel like we've been in the gauntlet with some of the best teams in the state outside of our district, and now it's time to kind of just see how we stack up against 6A ball.
Next week, the Bruins enter a 6A play with the 3-game series against Hartfield Academy. First up is a home game Tuesday against Hartfield. Make plans now to come out and support your Bruins.
In tennis, the Bruins continue its hot streak after playing Presbyterian Christian Academy Monday at Cypress Lake and St. Augustine on Thursday at Cypress Lake. The Bruins will rest during Holy Week with no planned matches.
Instead, the tennis team will participate in a service project on Good Friday at Shower Power.
This season we have a younger team, and we've been practicing on taking from our losses and learning from that. And this next match we are going to work on being more consistent and being more competitive with the other teams and making sure we don't go down without a fight.
Another Bruin team that saw early season action was golf, with games against Hartfield Tuesday at Bay Point. Next up is a game at Live Oaks next Tuesday against Tri-County Academy.
And in track, the Bruins participated Wednesday in the Jackson Academy Invitational. And next Wednesday, we'll participate in the Jackson Prep Invitational. Bruins have high hopes for the season.
All right, so this year we have a pretty good team, a few new people, and we practice every Tuesday and Thursday, working up to these tournaments.
While the spring sports season jumps into a full swing, some things happen all year long. One such sport is horseback riding. And here at St. Joe, we have several students interested in horses.
One student, a 7th grader, has her heart set on competitive horseback riding. And why not? Her family has several horses, in addition to a few chickens and some stray cats, and even a donkey.
Margaret Claire's first love is horses. JVBN's Mamie Heinzman recently spent some time with Margaret, talking with her about her love of horses and horseback riding. She filed this report.
Margaret Claire, a 7th grade student here at St. Joseph Catholic School, has a unique hobby. She and her family cares for a large number of animals, including 5 horses. While she loves her animals and often rides her horses on the fields near her home, Margaret dreams of one day doing competitive horseback riding.
I've been riding horses since I was like 4, but it's never really been a lot. It's just been a little bit since I was 4, and now I kind of want to do more than I've been doing.
Margaret's family cares for around 20 chickens that provide the family with fresh farm eggs every day. She also has about 10 cats, 2 dogs, and 1 donkey.
I love horses and I love relationships that people have with animals of all kinds. I don't know. I think that they're wonderful relationships, learning how to communicate with animals.
In many instances, animals are free to roam inside and mostly outside the family's house in Ingleside, not too far from the St. Joe campus. While Margaret enjoys riding Houston, a horse she got shortly after Christmas, she'd love to do some competitive riding.
I do plan to ride a lot in the future. Whenever I grow up, I want to also ride and own like some kind of horse rescue.
Competitive horseback riding involves several possibilities that include show jumping, which is horses and riders jumping over hurdles, cross country, which is a course of obstacles in different terrains, and more. Margaret is interested in hunter jumping and cross country. Winners in competitive horseback riding can walk away with trophies and cash prizes. A lot depends on the size of the show. At school, Margaret is involved in cheer, plays tennis, and plays middle school basketball. Her friends say she's fun to be around, but doesn't say much about her horses or her family's other animals.
She's really nice. Like, she's always there for you and like really just is a positive person and makes you feel happy all the time. She definitely has a lot of animals, and I think it's really unique in like what makes her her.
Margaret's a really good friend. She's always encouraging, and she makes sure you never feel left out or sad or anything.
While Margaret doesn't say much to her friends about her horses and horseback riding, she still says she would love to follow her dream. We're reporting for JV Bruin News Now. I'm Mamie Heisman.
Thanks, Mamie. Great story. Love seeing those animals, and it's great to hear about someone like Margaret have such a love of caring for animals. And of course, her horses.
That's it for this week of Bruin Sports. Tune in next week for the regular edition of Bruin News Now and more on Bruin Sports. I'm Riley Ward.
And I'm Hills Zell. You've been watching the JV Bruin News Now Sports Report. Go Bruins!
Hello, St. Joe. I'm Sophia Yarbrough with your weekend weather forecast. It's finally spring. It may not have felt like that earlier this week, but we did officially welcome the spring season at 10:06 p.m. Tuesday night, and that should lead into a nice spring weekend starting today. Today, look for a high of 67 with a low tonight in the low 60s. Sunset tonight is 7:14 p.m. If you are going to the big Bruin baseball game tonight at Lloyd Star, bring a jacket because it will be chilly. Temperatures at game time should be in the low 60s. For the rest of your weekend, look for nice spring weather. Saturday's high is expected to be 71 with a low of 49. On Sunday, look for a high of 75 and a low of 58. Both days will be partly cloudy with plenty of sun. Unfortunately, it looks like we will start next week on Monday with a round of showers. That's it for JV Bruin News Now weekend weather forecast. Have a great weekend. Enjoy these first days of spring. I'm Sophia Yarbrough for Bruin News Now.
That's it for this edition of JV Bruin News Now. Look for the final edition of JV BNN for the 2023 to 2024 school year right here on the BNN YouTube channel at the end of the quarter.
Then look for the next regular edition of BNN next Thursday, also here on the BNN YouTube channel. Next week's special edition will come from the Catholic Diocese office in downtown Jackson.
Until then, remember to subscribe to the BNN YouTube channel on YouTube, where you'll find this episode and an archive of all student-produced programming. And follow BNN on Instagram for more Bruin news.
I'm Vincent Lee.
And I'm Ashley Mason. From all of us here at JV BNN, have a great weekend.